Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of my MotoGP 18 Rider Career Mode, and we are here for episode number 2 and I believe race number 3 and race number 4 of the Moto Red Bull Rookies Cup. And I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode. If you did miss it, then do check out the card annotation in the top right hand corner of the screen to go check that last episode out, guys, before you watch this one. But overall, sort of updates without giving any real spoilers out. We feel good on this bike. I feel very confident. We've got the first race out of the way, running on 100 AI, which is the maximum of what would have been on the last game. We can go up to 120 in this game, so I'd like to build my way up to that point. But for now, I'm very happy on 100, and we had a very contrasting 2 races in the first episode, so hopefully we can try and be a little bit more consistent this time round. But anyway, next weekend we're going to go straight into it, and this one we have Assen as the first of the 2 races. I believe it's Assen and the Sachsenring, but don't quote me on it. Assen, though, my all-time favourite MotoGP track, the ultimate riding track, especially that final sector. I love this track so much, you know, there's such a good flow to it, and I think Mugello, Assen and probably Le Mans are like my top 3. If not, then it's very, very close. But I love all the tracks in this calendar. You know, Assen is one of the ones that I really want to win, and it's one that always have really good pace. So hopefully we can have a good result. But anyway, let's jump into qualifying and let's see where we line up on the grid. Right, here we go then, entering the garage, and you would have seen on the screen just before, we got a little bit of rain. First time this season we got a little bit of rain, and the first time I'm going to drive on the wet track in this. So it's going to be very, very interesting, and I'm curious to see how this works out. But we've got a 4-minute qualifying ahead of us here, and I'm looking forward to it. We're not going to touch the bike settings, like I said. I'm happy to just stick with the bike that we have and try and learn the bike and also understand it. So it's going to be interesting. Wet conditions for the first time on this new game. I've never done it before, so it's going to be a learning curve. So let's simulate time a little bit, get to around 20-25 minutes remaining, and then let's get on track and do a few laps and try and get a feel for the circuit in these conditions. But overall, I'm looking forward to it. Alright, first attempt in the books. We was about 2 seconds off in Sector 3. Actually the fastest man in Sector 3, so that's one sector I'm actually strong at. We just backed off because we had some traffic with them 2 bikes, but now I'm going to try and go again and try and attack this racetrack a little bit more. At the end of my second attempt, we are 7 tenths down, so not too bad. Feel like we've got some good pace in the bike. I can definitely improve. I lose it all in the first sector, so I've got to make sure I get it right this time round. Across the line, 9 tenths adrift. So sectors 1 and 4, there's definitely improvement in the cards there, so let's try and get it. Right, a 10th down, or pretty much 2 tenths down in the first sector. We bring it back to inside a 10th in Sector 2, so we're looking very good so far. Sector 3 is my strongest one, so we've got to make a counter. So I run a little bit wide there, a little bit too wide, it cost me a bit of time, but if we can just get inside of 1 minute 48, we'll be looking very good for overall lap time. Final chicane again, really hot on the brakes this time through there. Flick the bike over, get the power on, nice and neat and tidy through there, letting the gears rev up to the max. Cross the line, half a second off, right, okay, we're getting there. But we are going to struggle to get first place, I think. This has been a much better lap. We're literally 12 thousandths off in Sector 2. Have we got a good Sector 3 underneath us? Yes, we have. 2 tenths up. This could be the one. It's been a perfect lap. I need to get the final sector absolutely hooked up here. 4th gear action, running it very wide as Ryder's coming to the pit lane. Braking on the curb is risky, but we're taking that risk in these conditions for that pole position lap. Throwing it over the chicane curbs. Bare right, shortest run to the line. Have we done enough? Yes, we have. Pole position by 3 tenths. That final sector was perfect, taking all the risks, braking on the curbs, accelerating on the curbs, maximum risk for maximum reward, and we take pole position at Assen, and I think that's going to be the best I can achieve. That was literally a perfect lap from start to finish, so we're going to call it there, and let's hope that we hold that position from now until the end of the session.
An end to this qualifying session, and after a thrilling contest where the riders gave their all right up until the end, we can finally find out the name of the rider who will start from pole position tomorrow. Greetings from Assen to all the fans. We're bringing you live coverage of the Dutch Grand Prix. At the moment, the track is completely soaked from the rain that shows no signs of letting up. This will definitely prompt race direction to declare a wet race. A few minutes to go, then today's race will begin. Right now, we're at the starting grid, waiting for the riders to receive the signal to start the warm-up lap.
You guys saw it. It's an absolute monsoon out there on the track. It's even more wet than yesterday in qualifying. This is going to be a real interesting challenge, and also we have to get through the start phase, hopefully unscathed. But this is going to be a definite test for us. Hopefully we pull through, but I'm looking forward to it. It's time for the Assen TT Grand Prix. Let's get ready then. Here we go. 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go, and it's a pretty average start, losing the back end a little bit here. accidentally pressing X instead of circle for the rear brakes. I'm still used to MotoGP 17, but look at the visibility here. Oh my god, I can't see much into the distance. This is a massive improvement on last year's game when it's actually wet. The wet is actually pretty poor. You can't see anything, but the bike is still very quick in these conditions, which is something I'm not really a fan of. But either way, we've had a shocker of a start down to 10th place. Not good at all. We've got the inside line for the next corner though, so we're going to brake late, be patient, keep the nose tucked in there, go on the throttle. There we go, slam it down. Nice bit of traction, keeping it nice and tight on the apex, picking up a slipstream up into P6. But wow, this visibility, I can't believe how poor it is. I actually can't see the corner. I'm sort of just following the guys in front with the red lights, because otherwise I would not know where to go. This is so insane. The conditions are so poor. Let's just try and nurse the car. I can barely see the curbs. It's so scary. And also seeing lights put up on the side of the track is also quite a nice touch, because it really gives that feel of just darkness ascending upon the track in the conditions. But oh my god, the visibility, man, this is so cool. I absolutely love this. Really poor visibility. You can't even see the leader's tail light, which is pretty incredible. But let's try and see if we can settle into this race. I think we've got some good pace here today at Assen. We are good here, but like I said, the visibility is going to be the factor. I can't even see the apex here for this corner. I've gone way too early there. That's going to send me a little bit wide. This is so tricky. I can barely see into the distance. Oh wow, this is going to be really interesting. I've got to say the AI's pace in the race trim is a lot better, especially in these wet conditions. I'm trying to catch up to these guys, but they're really setting some good pace as I cut that corner. I've got to say the AI's pace is absolutely brilliant. I'm struggling to keep up here. And the leaders are actually going a little bit faster than me. I'm catching up to Yuki in 5th, but the pace of the AI around here is a massive improvement on last year's game. They're actually pretty damn quick, which is good to see, because they were so slow here last year. But overall, these conditions are really making it a proper challenge. I've got to say, I am still struggling with visibility. This isn't even for the video. The visibility is terrible. I want to try and set up Yuki for a move here. I think he's definitely prone to get overtaken. I think sector 3 especially, this is still sector 3, this is my strong point, especially now out of this corner here. Once we get through here, I'm pretty strong for this next part, through these flat out right-handers, which is so scary. But here we go, we've got a nice bit of momentum. We're going to try and really throw the bike into this next left-hander. Take an early wide line to bring it back for the apex. Can we get close? No, we can't. AI is still very good on just the overall race line, which is pretty impressive. As I cut that corner a bit, just again the visibility not ideal. I can't really see the apex properly, but fast up from Tate, we almost match it, just shy of it, so we are looking good for pace. And Marvel looking to turn 1 here, deep on the brakes, not quite. Definitely know I've got more confidence in the brakes now in this episode compared to episode 1. We are very close to Yuki here. We're going to try and pick him off for a move fairly swiftly. I think it's going to be into the left-hand hairpin. I want to say this is the last lap of the Grand Prix, so we have to make it count. The AR's pace in the wet is very good. I'm very impressed. Going to be a wilder entry to come back in on the nose. Late apex, traction on. There we go, very close. Picking up a slipstream. Can we get him? Over to the right-hand side. There we go, we're ahead. Now we just got to keep it. We've got to try and keep it flat into this next right-hander, which I can't even see the apex of. And there we go, we've got it beautifully. Down a gear, down another gear. This is my sector, so I need to make it count. It's the last lap of the Grand Prix. If I want to make any more positions up, I've got to just treat every corner like a qualifying lap. And that was a brilliant end to sector 3. So we might have given ourselves an outside chance here of a possible podium, but it's got to be absolutely perfect for the rest of the lap. Second gear, almost fell off there. Really leaning on the rear tyres, braking hard, and we've hit the deck. We've gone down. Just asked too much of the front end there. Too much of the front end, and I've lost it. We managed to get back on the bike, and we rejoined in 8th place, but we threw away some good points, unfortunately, just asking too much on the front end when I could sniff a podium. So unfortunately, that's going to be the end of it. We're going to just try and still push to the max until the end of the Grand Prix. Hopefully, I don't think the bike got too much damage, because it was a pretty straightforward fall. But I don't think we're going to catch Mr. Garcia in front of us, so I think it's going to be P8 unless we get overtaken into the final chicane, so we've got to be careful for that. Braking late, take the apex, flick it over, traction on, and there we go, 8th place for us. Disappointing to say we started on pole, but I've got to be honest with you, the visibility made that so tough for me. I only managed to get going right on that last lap and start to find my rhythm a bit, but that took so long to get used to. So credit to MotoGP and the guys who made the game. That was a really good improvement of the wet weather conditions, and That was really, really cool, really awesome. But we're now going to move into the next race. But first of all, we're going to check the final race results as Mr. Carlos Tate takes the win ahead of Philip. And we are, unfortunately, only come home in 8th place there. So disappointing, saying we started from pole position. Our fastest up was right up there. You know, we were second fastest behind Carlos, but we just couldn't put it together. We just didn't go from that poor start. We never really got going. But either way, into the championship, we can see we dropped down to 4th place as Mr. Carlos extends his lead. But we're in the race. You know, we've still got 4 races to go, 23 points behind. It just needs a W in the next race, hopefully. And I believe that next race is the Sachsenring. But overall, that was a very good Dutch Grand Prix. But now we're going to move into round number 4 for, I believe, the German Grand Prix at the Sachsenring. And let's hope we can have a good race. We arrive at the Sachsenring and hopefully we can try and get a good result. We do need to get on at least the podium this race to bounce back in the best possible way. But the pressure's on. Let's hopefully we can have a good qualifying. I love the Sachsenring again, another brilliant track. And lots of flow, lots of momentum changes. And I look forward to it, especially the waterfall, the famous waterfall corner. But anyway, let's jump into qualifying. Let's see where we can put the car, or should I say the bike, on the grid. Okay, end of lap 1, an okay lap, nothing spectacular by any means, about 2 to 3 seconds off the pace, I'm going to say. We let Pasquale through because I wanted to just get a little bit clean air, but let's see on our second attempt if we improve. Okay, the second attempt was much better, but it's actually half a second up in the first sector. The first sector, I'm absolutely untouchable through there, I'm so quick, but it's the rest of the lap, especially sector 3 where I really lose ground, and also, sector 3 mainly, so let's just try and go again, but sector 3 needs to be a big recovery. Right, final corner, much improved third attempt, just 4 tenths shy as we go into the final corner and the end of the final sector up to the line. Where is this lap going to put us in the grand scheme of things? It looks pretty good, it's going to be close, but not pole just yet. So far though, we are looking better and it's coming, we're getting there. Okay, I've finally unlocked the secret formula for sector 3, however, I'm struggling to now match my best 1 and 2. But now I'm currently 3 tenths off going into this final sector, which I also seem to have got on top of and found my mojo in, so we're getting stronger. It's just a question of really trying to put it all together, but let's see what happens now through the final corner. On the power, nice and tight on the apex, open up the bike, throttle on up the hill. Let's see, where does that put us? This is like lap 6 or 7 now. Going to be very close to 128. Ooh, just shy. Right, I reckon we could get this on one more attempt if we hook it up perfectly. Right then, 2 tenths down, on for a personal best here. Final corner to go, just got to get it absolutely perfect. Patience on the throttle, there we go, pick it up, flat out, up the hill now, up to the line, every gear shift has to be perfect. Have we done enough? I'm really struggling now to improve, so this has to be the one, and it's not. Oh, is it? Yes, it is. No, it's not. We just missed out. We got, I think, a fastest final sector, but we did just miss out. P4 as the red flash up on the screen. I thought we had it for a second there, but I just can't get it. I'm pushing to the limit. I've just got no more pace to give, so I think I'm just going to call it there and take the qualifying semi-W.
The qualifying session has just ended, and while the riders make their way back to their boxes, let's have a look at the final times that show us the front row for the start of tomorrow's Grand Prix. Hello and welcome to the Sachsenring circuit. The waiting is finally over. The German Grand Prix will be starting in just a few minutes. As you can tell from the footage we're broadcasting from the track, we're looking forward to great weather for the race. It was a long weekend for the riders, but finally the showdown is here. We are speaking to you from the starting grid, with just a few minutes to go before the race begins.
He is not wrong, the showdown does begin now, and I cannot wait. I love this track, and hopefully we can find some pace in race day to just give us a little edge that we need to try and get the win. But we do need a podium today. We're starting from P4, so it is possible, but it has to be perfect. So hopefully we can have a good race, and fingers crossed it all works out for us. It's time for the German Grand Prix. Here we go then, let's get ready for the 5 red lights, and we are underway at the Sachsenring. It's a pretty average-ish start at best, not the best one by any means, but we're underway. We've got the inside though for turn 1 this time, so that's good news for us. We've got our bikes on our inside, we're forced out wide, hung out to dry as we go now through turn 2. Got to be careful here, otherwise we can easily fall off. Flip over to turn 3. Down the apex, keeping nice and tight. Get on the inside of Barry maybe. Not quite. Ooh, a little bit of a wobble on the curb there, just taking a bit too much of that. This is interesting now. This double sort of apex left-hander is lots of different lines going through here. I'd sort of take a bit more of a wider entry, but got Kunil in front of me. Oh, sorry, inside of me. Trying to get on my inside more like. Down the hill though, behind Philip now. Let's see. This is when our becomes to start stronger as the lap goes on. So we get it absolutely beautifully on the apex there. Up the hill, over the kink. On the inside of Philip. Yeah, you're damn right. And then we're going to switch it back over to the waterfall. Oh, it's so close. There's Stewart. We're going to try. We're literally barging shoulders here. Braking late for the penultimate corner. Stewart on my inside. Got to leave some room there, but we made it work. P6, not too bad. Decent little recovery from the initial poor start. But now onto the start of lap 2. Can we gain any more positions here? We're going to try to pick up a slipstream off of Stewart, but this pit straight isn't particularly long, so I don't think we're going to get much from it unless we go very late on the brake. Sector 1 is my strong point, which is mainly this brake zone, so I think that's the reason why I may be particularly great to hear. First gear action inside on Stewart, second gear short shift, and that is how I effectively get the traction down. We're now behind Yamanaka here. Can we get on the inside possibly? Late move, little barge out of the way there, a little bit aggressive, but we've made it work. 4th place, we've recovered our starting position. So now let's see if we can go one step further. So far, race pace looks encouraging. 1/10 faster last time round. We're looking good so far. We're catching up to the front 3. We might actually have a chance of a decent podium this race if we get it absolutely perfect with 1.5 laps to go. Okay, it's looking like a 4-way fight for the race win here onto the last lap of the Grand Prix. The win is going to be a tough one, but if we can just at least get a podium, that'd be great news for us. Unfortunately, Tataya is in 2nd place, who's the championship leader, which is not ideal, but we set the fast lap of the Grand Prix, as you can see there, so we're definitely on the move at the moment as we get very close to Carrasco. This is where I'm strongest. Try and bring the nose back in. Almost lost the front end of the bike there, just trying to swing back too aggressively, but we are looking quick here. We drop back a little bit, as I normally do through here, but this is where it's all or nothing now. Sector 3, on the limit, onto the curbing here, using all the track available. Again, using absolutely everything, throttle down, planted to the floor. Really pushing hard, bring the nose in for the waterfall, pick up a slipstream on Carrasco. Can we get it? Are we close enough to the podium? We're going to have to go really late on the brakes here. Really lunge the bike in, and we have done so. It's not too bad actually, we're pretty close, but I don't think we're close enough unfortunately. And I don't think it's going to work out for us. Braking late again into the final corner, let the engine brake in, do the job for me. Onto the curbing, lose the back end a little bit, a little bit unsettled. Over the crest, are we close enough? I don't think we are. I think that's going to be all she wrote for the Sachsenring. We are gaining, but not enough. And we just miss out on the podium. We finish where we started, in 4th place. Overall, not bad. I'll take it. A good recovery from Assen. But that is not good for the championship, as I believe Tate actually scored quite a few points. I think he got 2nd place there. And yes, he did. There you go. Confirmation. And Chan Onku takes the race win. We take the fastest lap there, 62 with 29.1 with the orange on my name. But overall, a very good race for us. Hopefully we need the win of the next one. Ideally, we do need the win of the next one to really give ourselves any chance. We're 30 points adrift with 3 races to go. And Chan Onku and Carlos Tatai look absolutely nailed on. I can easily get 3rd place, but the top 2 look a little bit out of reach. So we need to really get it together to have any chance of beating those guys. But overall, the reputation goes up, which is good news for us. Our riding experience and also abilities do go up a little bit. Leaning angle, throttle management, all on 44 there, which is very good. Nice and consistent across the board. And overall, I can't really complain. So, good episode, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, then please do leave a like on the video. Let's try and smash 150 likes for this episode, guys. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new for daily MotoGP and F1 content all over the summer. And also do turn on notifications to not miss a single video from me. And finally, do check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them by chance. But other than that, I thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you on my next video very soon. Goodbye.